You already knew about both of them.
You allow, Mr. Chairman.
I'd like to call this public communication forum to order. And Mr. McGahee, will you give us an invocation?
Thank you. If I'd had some warnings, apologize. All right, bow your heads. Dear Lord, as we sit here today, please allow the pulpit to come and give us their feedback. Let us receive that and take it and do great things with it at the county and make decisions based on how we need to improve people's lives in the county. And make sure that we have your discernment in every decision we make and every policy we implement. And we ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right. Next on, we're moving on to the public comment forum. Just want to say that although we hold this just to show that we don't have any deaf ears or nothing that y'all say falls on deaf ears, I did rupture my eardrum this weekend, so there is one deaf ear on the council. So sorry about that. But our first speaker is Joe Farmer.
Thank you. Joe Farmer, 207 Alpine Way. Recently, members of council requested additional appropriations for affordable housing, GreenLink, roads, employee pay, public safety raises, and proposals for impact fees, forensic audits. But let me share with you a revenue stream that everyone should support. The Historic Review Board of the City of Greenville has approved $115 million of property tax assessment freezes for pickleball courts, convenience store, Army-Navy store, McBride's office supply, and Park Avenue office space. Now, it seems to me interesting how an appointed board by the City of Greenville can freeze property taxes of which every entity in the county levies millage, meaning the county, the school district, the library, Greenville Tech all lose out on revenue. And they can't have anybody appointed to this board. Unless you live in the city of Greenville, you can't be appointed to this board. We just passed July 4th. That was kind of about taxation without representation, wasn't it? So the people in Greer can't be on the board even though their tax money's been given away. That doesn't seem like it's fair to me. Additionally, the city does not employ a property tax assessor. The city does not bill for property taxes. And the city does not collect property taxes. The county does. So how does the city appoint a board to do this? Because that's the way it's always been done. Well, now's the time to change it. Before we look at raising any tax or charging any fees or cutting any services, let's collect what's due. I don't think any of these projects were a public necessity. It's not like we got a new hospital or a new school. We got pickleball courts. All of these projects would have been done anyway. So the solution is, I ask you simply, pass a resolution by this council that directs the county tax assessor's office to use his assessments made by his office, and it ends his practice. You hire him, you employ him, you pay him. He does a good job. I don't hear any complaints. Let him do his job and not be overridden by an appointed board. Before you consider cutting budgets, please, let's collect the money that the county is due, that the school district is due, that the library is due, and quit giving these developers a free ride. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Farmer.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, real quick.
Sure.
Can I have a comment on that?
Yep.
So,
Go ahead.
So Mr. Farmer and public and everybody on the board, I met with the tax assessor and the tax collector on this issue. And I don't want to get into specifics here, but there were some things going on the city was doing. The county wasn't aware of that. They are aware of that now, and that practice has stopped. So they're no longer, the assessment is being done by our tax assessor and our tax collector, and that practice has stopped. The city and county were disconnected on how that tax assessment was being made. The city, I'm not accusing anybody here, but it was basically they acted like they didn't know they were supposed to get approval from the county on the assessments. But that practice has changed now. When I talked to the tax assessor, because I've heard of this problem from you and from other people, so I went and spoke to them. They're not doing that any longer.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great. Wow, that was quick. All right, next we got Frank Tamburello.
Good evening. My name is Frank Tamburello. I'm an HOA board member on the Saddle Creek subdivision in Greer. You may remember me from a city council meeting, county council meeting earlier last month. We're here tonight to request your support in developing a telecommunications overlay for cell phone tower regulations, as has been done in other communities. Currently, some self-serving individuals like Tony Langford can come along and obtain approval for cell tower construction and modification without any consideration for surrounding communities. Lucrative for him, but devastating for the neighborhoods. A 200-foot cell tower could go up mere feet from your property line, as happened to us. We're working with Kelly Long over here on council. We're looking to supplement existing zoning legislation by adding considerations for the surrounding communities, things like prior communications and opportunity for public discussion, setback requirements from homes, design alternatives, and impact on property values. In our specific case, homes that have typically been under contract in days now continue to sit on the market for months. We need your help to add some fairness to cell phone tower development. Please work with us and help your constituents. And I might add that doing this is not going to cost the county a penny, and it's going to make your constituents much happier. Be happy to answer any questions or do any kind of follow-up that any of you might like.
Are you working with a planner now to create that overlay?
We're working with Kelly and we're working with an attorney to get some things developed that we can do as proposals. So yes.
Yeah, let me mention this. This subdivision is right behind my house, so I can speak directly to it, and it's had a grave impact on their subdivision because it's right over the top of the houses, and they had a sale of a house fall through in the $600,000 range as a result of this cell phone tower just sitting on top. And the problem here is this isn't a partisan thing. This affects all of us. I don't think anybody here can say that they haven't seen cell phone towers just fly up around them. And I go to North Carolina a good bit because my son lives there, and I will say when you pass over the state line in Landrum, it continues. So this isn't just a county thing. It's not a South Carolina thing. It is a national thing. So there are a lot of states that have legislations out there about this, and typically now it's being handled in the county area because, to put it from one of our senators, it would take the state 6 to 8 years to pass something like this. And if they do, and when they do, they will have jurisdiction over the counties. But until that time, are we just going to still allow this? And the answer should be no. So I hope everybody here, as I work on this, you guys will work with me, give me your ideas, and I hope we can pass something and have 100% vote on this because, like he mentioned, it costs us no money and it's affecting our neighbors. And probably if it's not affecting us, it will. Because all it takes is for a cell phone company to say, hey, I'll give you X amount of money, and all of a sudden somebody's interested. So that's what's happened in our area. So I just ask for your help in that, and thank you, Frank, for coming today and keeping it front of us, and we will continue to work on that. Thank you so much.
I shall return. Thank you,
All right.
Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get Starlink. All right. Next we got Peter Hoffman.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Peter Hoffman. I live in Pine Creek Cottages, right behind the car wash at close to Five Forks and the library across. But today I'm not talking about the car wash noise pollution. I call it the danger zone, and I made a layout on that one. Between, let's say, the Starbucks or the Emmanuel Lutheran Church, there's a red light. And the next red line is right after the fire station. The distance from there is 37 miles. and you have a speed limit from 45 miles per hour. Well, would be nice if everybody would follow through with that. That would be one thing. But we have here 3 critical, dangerous access zones to Woodruff Road. One is from the Ashridge Way exit at Sparrow Point subdivision on the side of the car wash is a residential area. Then on the more to the southwest, not to the southeast, from the Dusty Lane exit of the car wash commercial area and the Pine Creek Cottages subdivision. It's a residential area. And now the tricky point is whoever goes to the library and want to go to Woodruff and exit and in the traffic says it's the Sunnydale Drive exit of Five Forks Library. So employees and customers. Now, let me get to some critical points here. Walking from the residential areas to the library, walking, it's a no-no. Because you have to cross 5 lines, the middle line and the other 4. And the traffic, as you know, is brutal. I just come here and said, gee, I should have made a movie and show you, but anyway. So that's not possible. So if you want to walk and make safe, you have to walk all the way up to Starbucks, to the Lutheran Church, left, cross, because there's a red light, or you go all the way passing the fire station till you hit the South Bennett's Bridge Road. So, nice distance, but who is going to do that? So, we are forced to take even, you cannot walk there, so you have to have a car. Anyway, then there's another subject that we experience noise issues, particularly from people who saying, oh, nice, red light, green, hit the pedal to the metal, and free area, and this 0.37 miles, it becomes a racetrack. And particularly at the evening and at midnight. There are people that are using their motorbike and whatever and think this has to stop. If you come out at night and you got this guy with 80 miles an hour, okay, you know what's happened. Okay, and anyway, so, and for us to go out, you always have to wait till finally one line, of the left side, the safest way is go to the middle and then wait, and then go to the right. 1 minute, half a minute. Okay, suggestions from a layman. Either you put a red light in the middle, so because then you disrupt the flow. Reduce the speed to maybe 35 miles, because all the neighborhood around in the neighborhood with $1 million houses is 35 miles an hour. And what's important, you should reinforce the speed limit. And there was a funny thing, the police put a speed limit indicator there on Publix. Well, at that place, everybody is wiggling around with 20 miles. He may looks at them and said, oh great, I'm below speed limit, 20 miles. As soon he sees the green light at Starbucks and the Lutheran Church, he forgot everything what they saw. Woof, it goes. Anyway, I just bring it to your attention, and I hope something can be done to save lives. My point. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, how you doing? That's my district. I live over in that area, so I travel that road every day. So I feel your pain and try to get out of the library. Trust me, it's even worse if you go down and try and get off Anderson Ridge and make a left. You know what I'm talking about today,
Yeah.
going Wood 101 towards 101.
Right.
So just a few issues, just to let you know that there's not a whole bunch council can do because it's a state road.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's a state traffic study. We can't just put up a traffic light there. That would have to be done by the SCDOT. So just to let you know that as I hear you and I want to help you, and I feel your pain because I live out that way, and I know Gary knows it too. Gary Collins, he has
I know.
south of Woodruff Road because you're in his
He's not here
district.
today. I already
Right,
informed him. Yeah.
and I'm north of you.
Okay.
So just to let you know, we're not ignoring you, but there's our hands are kind of tied. Now, I'm on the GPATS committee because of roads infrastructure, where I will mention that, and I will take a look at that for you.
Please.
And the only other remedy we may have for you is to also ask the sheriff to patrol it more. I know the state troopers were out there last month and sitting in the fire station. I was laughing my head off. But just we do want to help you, but it's a little harder because we don't own the road. just to let you know that. So we'll try and do what we can with the sheriff, and we'll mention it to SCDOT and see. But
Okay, I
yeah.
appreciate it. But then I also
Okay.
will talk to the sheriff. If you give me some kind of connections, I will tell him that he has to come up with more. Maybe
Sure.
he makes some money, so he gives some tickets. How about that?
No, but thank you so much.
Okay, thanks for your attention.
All right, next up, and our last speaker is Diane Freeland.
Hi, everybody. Okay, Diane Vreeland on behalf of Greenville County Republican Women, 413 Heather Falls Lane, Simpsonville. I and many of your constituents have been pushing for impact fees for about 1.5 years now for so many reasons. So I want to thank you for starting the process. I agree and disagree with Dan Tripp. Yes, the fees may increase the prices of new homes as the developers may pass some of the cost on to them, but I'd rather see that than having taxes of current Greenville County residents go up via tax increases so that we can bolster our infrastructure, pave our roads, supplement all departments that supply services to the county, such as fire, police, schools, etc. Under an impact fee scenario, some of the development costs will be absorbed by new homeowners over many years through their mortgages, and for those who are paying cash, those costs will be up front. I do not believe this will deter anyone from moving here. With regard to the budget process, glad to see that you did a one-year budget. I would like to encourage you to start the fiscal year 2027 budget as soon as possible, preferably using a zero-based method and taking the time to go through it line by line. I like that council is looking into some creative ways to deal with affordable housing, as there is a great need. Councilmember McGahee's idea to assist with ownership versus renting was excellent. I would love to see you explore more options like this. Rocket Mortgage just came out with a 1% down to buy instead of rent program, so there is an appetite for that sort of thing out there. It is my understanding that the Planning Commission cannot ask developers basic questions regarding price points. So how can they know if a new subdivision is actually affordable? Seems counterproductive to me and should be changed immediately. Regarding Council Members Russo, McGahee, and Shaw's amendments with the fiscal year 2026 budget, there's too much to discuss in 3 minutes. As a spectator, my only wish is that you all got together a month or two earlier and hashed this all out, resulting in bringing one solid united amendment to the council to vote on. This is exactly why I've been pushing for council to review budgets line by line, as it fosters new, innovative ideas and gives a clearer understanding of the entire process, which in return can result in more cohesive amendments. Always remember, no one ever gets everything they want. You must continually strive to work together and, yes, even compromise when necessary. Greenville County is as diverse as the council members who were elected to serve are. Please stop the bickering, as it accomplishes nothing. And I would like to hand a copy of my statement to the clerk so that it's part of the public record, and I thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Freeland. All right, and that concludes our public comment. And so may I get one final motion? All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned.